My name's Gary. My dad died of Alzheimer's 2 years ago. It's January 2025 right now. My mom is about to die any day now. She's outlived hospice twice, and she's dying from dementia. And about a year and a half ago, I was diagnosed with cognitive decline. I'm in a journey, a fight of my life. When I first was diagnosed, I went into a very dark hole, to the point I wasn't sure I wanted to continue this thing we call life, because I'd watched what it did to my mom and dad over the first 8 years. The first few years weren't too bad at all, but the last few have been horrific. But this was my dad's coffee cup. He retired from Rock Island Railroad in 1980 when it went belly up. He lost his job, but whole nother story. This was my dad's coffee cup. I'm in the fight of my life, and I'm going to enjoy this battle, because the first year of it, I was very depressed. I was even depressed before I found out I was in cognitive decline, because I had some symptoms going on that I knew something was wrong. I've been landscaping for almost 40 years, and so my job is not going to the same building every day. It's different areas. And I noticed I was making wrong turns every week. I couldn't get through a week that I didn't make 2 or 3 wrong turns, trying to get to somewhere. Even with having GPS helping me, something would distract me, and I was supposed to go left right there. And so I went and got checked, and I was diagnosed with cognitive decline. It is the last stage before dementia. And so I wasted a year of just being totally depressed about it. And then I got online and I started studying under doctors, many different doctors, and I discovered something. There is something I can do about it, and I'm doing it. Basically, there are 3 things. If you listen to a dozen different doctors for hours, which I did, probably a few hundred hours, you're going to find out a couple of facts. Number 1, they don't all agree on everything. It's kind of sad. They can go to the same medical school, come out, and 10 years later they can argue about something, because this guy believes this guy believes that. Totally different. But here's what I recommend. Watch as many as you can. With social media now, we don't have to wait to go to a doctor to learn something. All mankind's knowledge, good and bad, are all right in here, okay? Or your computer. And after studying all those hundreds of hours, here's what I've concluded. There's 3 things. 3 things you can do to fight if you've been diagnosed with cognitive decline, or even if you have dementia or Alzheimer's and you're not totally bedridden and don't know where you're at. Once you get to that stage, changing your diet won't help. But if you're early in it, I want to encourage you. You can do something about it. All these doctors agree on these 3 things. I'm going to start at number 3. Number 3 is your sleep. They all agree that getting good quality sleep is important. The reason they give is, it's like a battery. When your battery goes low, you got to plug it in, it's got to rest, it's got to recharge. For lack of a better term, cleansing itself. So good quality sleep is number 3. Number 2, diet. I had no idea how extremely important diet actually is to our health. I really didn't know. I was just getting worse and worse and worse, gaining a bunch of weight. Your diet is extremely important. And the number 1 thing that they all agree on, the ones that I have listened to, which are many, many doctors, is you need to cut out sugar. If you think you can't, hang in there. I'm going to show you. I did cold turkey just like that. You can too. And your health depends on it. Even if you're not diagnosed with any of these brain diseases, or you're headed that way if you eat a typical American diet. And I'm going to give you a real quick side note here. By the 1990s, 40% of all American food companies were owned by big tobacco. I want you to rewind, listen to that, pause it, and contemplate that for a little bit. 40% of all food companies were owned by big tobacco. The same companies that lied to us for decades about how smoking wasn't bad for you, you got nothing to worry about. They did that for decades before they finally had to admit that it was actually causing cancer, and it is, and actually causing heart disease, and it does. I know, because my uncle died of a heart attack. He wasn't an ounce overweight, gone just like that at 50. I could name so many people. I had a friend named Charlie. He died of heart disease from smoking. I had another friend named Bill. that died of congestive heart failure. He was a smoker. Had another friend named Milburn. Milburn was a great man. He really was a really good-hearted, good person. And Milburn got addicted as a kid way back in the 1950s, and he died of double lung cancer before he should have died, before an average lifespan. So the same companies that lied to us about tobacco got in the food business and started cramming our foods full of sugar. You can check this independently, check it for yourself, but I know this to be true. The reason they started cramming more and more sugar in is because it was inexpensive compared to the good stuff that we need. It's always about money. It was about money when they had the Marlboro Man on, and the Marlboro Man decades ago that was so handsome and chiseled and wore a cowboy hat and had a Marlboro hanging out of his mouth. Cigarettes killed the Marlboro Man. There's the fact. So, same company doing the same thing to us again through sugar. Thank God, on October the 20th, 2024, I saw an interview online that showed me that there's hope to get over this and get better with cognitive decline. And it's cutting out sugar. So, diet, extremely important. The number one thing, exercise. It's hard to tell which one's more important, exercise or diet, because they're so extremely important. But exercise, if you're a couch potato, you are sitting on a couch waiting to die early. That is the truth, that's a fact. There's a lot of documentaries about how bad sugar is. I recommend you watch all of them, because if you do, and you find out that this man in Arizona that owns 4 nursing homes got to send 7 of his old folks confined to nursing homes back home, 7 of them over the period of several years, that he talked into going on a sugar-free diet. They got to go back home. That's amazing. And when I heard that day on October 20th, 2024, just a few months ago, I stopped eating sugar cold turkey. And I haven't had 1 teaspoon of sugar in any beverage, any tea, any coffee, anything since. And I don't eat the junk anymore. They lie to you just like they did me my whole life. The very first benefit that happened for me was this weight loss right here. To that, in 8 weeks, it's gone. And all I did was cut out sugar. I want to share with you so many recipes that we eat. My wife and I went on this journey together. She joined on the day 2, and that picture was taken on day 3. I decided, I'm going to do this. I better get a picture before I lose any weight. And I didn't have any idea how much weight we were about to lose. But as of today, January the 25th, so just from October the 20th to January the 25th, in 4 months, we are now a combined loss of over 50 pounds, which is amazing because we don't go hungry and we don't miss meals and we eat a lot of sweet stuff. We just don't eat it with sugar anymore. We have some favorite new best friends. This is one, stevia, made from the stevia plant. We bake with that, but when it comes to coffee and tea, right here, and it's awesome. So we eat chocolate cake even. Come to my channel and let me show you the amazing recipes, a bunch of them. It's awesome, and I've got a bunch more coming. I'm just new into this thing of putting these things out, so I don't have a large number of them out yet, but I will over the next month or 2, a lot more. But I've got a few good ones on there right now. Come check it out. You don't have to go hungry. You don't have to miss meals. All you got to do, make your mind up that sugar is slowly killing you, because it is if you're overdoing it. And in America, we overdo it because 75% of adults in America are overweight. Did you know in Japan, children by the time they're 15, 3 out of 100 are obese. That's 3%. Duh. In America, it is 50%. By the time our kids are 15 years old, 50% are overweight, obese overweight. I don't blame the kids that are in that shape. The parents don't know. They don't know what they're buying. They think it's good because they buy it at Kroger and Walmart. There is some good products that we get now to keep ourselves from getting hungry, and it's real food, but they sell a whole bunch of crap that we should not eat, that it should say on the front of the box, not meant for human consumption. To sum this up, there are 3 things we can do, and I'm doing them to the best of my ability, and I'm going to fight this thing, and it's exercise, diet, and sleep. Good rest. One of those I struggle with, but the other 2 I'm kicking butt on. and you can come join me and get healthy. Get off that couch, put that remote down, put that phone down, get up away from the front of that video game you play all the time. Do something. And I've got great ideas about exercise, especially for old folks. It doesn't mean you got to join a gym. I don't go to a gym. Walking is a great exercise. Thank you for coming and hearing my journey. One last thing before I sign off here. For years, I would not go to a hotel that had stairs. The last several years, my wife knew if we booked a hotel in Branson or somewhere we might be going, if there's stairs, I'm out. I'd given up. I'd go see my son who lives up 2 flights of stairs. I would put my left foot on a step, bring my right foot up next to it as I hold the side rail, and then go to the next one. Both feet on each step as I held the side rail. It was pathetic. I'd pretty much given up in losing my abilities. When I went on this diet, a few months goes by, I decided to go see my son. I walked up those steps, bam, 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 bam. By the time I got up both flights, I stopped and it dawned on me, wow, I just walked up both sets of steps and I didn't even touch the handrail, and each step got a separate foot. So there are improvements that are vastly better than they were. I'm excited about life again. I feel guilty that I ever wasn't excited about it, but there's a lot going on. But I want to be an encouragement to people that are depressed, that have given up. Get up, move, get rid of sugar. Come to my channel, let me help you get rid of sugar. I know I can. I did it so fast. And I can help you do it fast. It's all about your mindset. We get your mind right about it, you will give it up. Sugar is killing you. And I dare the sugar company come sue me for saying it. I dare you, because you know it's true. Just like now I can say, hey, cigarettes are killing you. And they are. They have to admit that now. But for decades they didn't admit it. Now they admit it. Sugar eventually will have a label on it, just like the cigarettes did, that may be hazardous to your health. And eventually they'll have to say, this product, if you're taking more than so many teaspoons a day, is killing you. That's what's coming. I don't know how far in the future, but it's coming. I want to help everybody get off sugar just like that. I know I can. I know you can. I did. We have a mountain here in Little Rock called Pinnacle Mountain. I haven't been to the top of it since 1978. That's a long time. It's 2025. If you'd have asked me 10 years ago, you're ever going to walk back up to the peak of that mountain, which is 1,011 feet, I would have said, are you nuts? Why would I want to do that? It's January right now. I've got 4 months training. I'm going back to the top of Pinnacle Mountain. I'm 63 years old. There's plenty of other people my age that can do it, have done it, older than me, but I haven't done it. I haven't done it since 1978. I'm doing it in 2025, Lord willing. I'm going to fight this thing. I'm going to fight this cognitive decline with exercise, diet, and try to get good sleep. And I'm going to fight it hard. I hope you'll come along for my journey. I'm going to be making these videos regularly. And how I start my day, a lot of times it's like I'm about to start it right now. Look at that. That is delicious beef and lamb gyro. I think that's how they told me to pronounce G-Y-R-O. I used to pull through and I would say, hey, I need some of that gyro. I'm from Arkansas. Anyway, it's delicious, and usually 3 eggs. This morning, 2 eggs and a whole bunch of protein in the meat. So that gets you off to a really good start, because we have to have a lot of protein. Fat and protein are how I get my energy now, and it's a way better source of energy than Coca-Cola, Corn Pops, and Captain Crunch, which slowly kills us. Let's start eating real food together. Get on a journey with me of health. Whatever time I have left, whether it's 6 months or 30 years, I'm going to enjoy the heck out of it.